Hello everybody, welcome back to Road to Master. I hope you're all having an amazing day. We're starting off with the black pieces against an 1830 from the Bahamas. That's a pretty cool flag. You may notice I'm in my smart white shirt. I've been at my new job this week. You didn't see yesterday because it was a pre-recorded one I did on Sunday by accident. But it meant I didn't have to record a video yesterday. Anyway, been busy. We have a Norwegian defense here with e5. Let's go ahead with knight h5 into the Norwegian rat, which we've been playing a bit recently. Very interesting opening, and I fancy somewhat fun because I've been sat in a classroom all day today. Bishop c4 seems strange. d5 seems like the appropriate response. En passant queen takes is just good, I think. Let's go ahead with d5, and then potentially we can chase this bishop about with like an a5. We want to get the knight round this way and sit it on f5. This knight can potentially go back to g7. They go bishop to e3. Now, e2, sorry. Bishop to e2 is a move we want to see at the start instead of this. Because takes, we have ideas with d6. We no longer have d6 as an idea. So does that change our plan? I'm not sure. I am not sure, to be honest. We're gambiting a pawn with that, and we don't get the activity of the queen. So I think it would be appropriate to drop this knight back to g7. And now we have some very interesting possibilities with both of these knights hitting this d-pawn. And there's not much they can do about it. c3 is okay, but then you've got this relatively ugly dark squared bishop, and your knight's struggling to sort of develop. Bishop g5 is the natural move, I believe. Yeah, is natural. I don't want to play f6. I think h6 here is fine. Either that or just a knight c6. Seems to work. I don't know if we want to play c5 or not. Probably not, because it gives them b5. We probably actually want to play c6 after this knight's done its tour. This knight's struggling to do its tour until e7 moves. My arrows are not working like they should. So we can't play e7, which means we can't get this knight to e7, which means we can't do anything. So I think here h6 is an appropriate response. All that to say. All that to say. And I don't even mind g5 here. And get this bishop on this diagonal, which is very interesting. We have an almost French structure. It's almost like a Scandinavian French, actually. It's almost like a Scandinavian French. Because we have this bishop outside of the pawn chain, we can drop the bishop back to g6, and we can get this knight on g5, and we can fully go after this d-pawn. I think I don't mind that. I think I don't mind that. Bishop f5, bishop d3. Probably an e6. Make this bishop permanently bad. And just let them take. You know, they can't kick us out, and then we can work on getting these knights working together. We can play a c5 with this bishop out. I think that's good. I think that's good. It's just natural, really. You know, it's nothing groundbreaking, is this? Here we'll play e6, just lock this up, defend this d-pawn. Where are we castling? We're not going to castle queenside, I think is safe to say. So where's this bishop going? Because this bishop's going to have to move in order for us to castle. We've got nowhere here. We could put it on e7 temporarily. And castle is an option. They have very quick attacking ideas with a h4 though, so maybe we don't want to do that too fast. If they throw in this check here, It's interesting. We probably just want to go knight c6. Then bring this rook to c6. We can do queen b6 or queen c7. Probably b6. Yeah. And then I think that's okay. So we'll go ahead with c5 and we'll play this like a Scandinavian French, I think. Emphasis on I think. Because I really don't know. To be honest, we do have some potential threats. Although this g-pawn is defended by the queen. Yeah. You know what? It's not horrible. It's not a horrible idea. h4 is probably the move after h5. And then if we want to play a g4, that's an option as well. It leaves f4 open for the bishop. But it takes away their biggest sort of defender of this pawn, which I don't mind at all. So I think here a rook c8 works. No, did we say bishop e7? We said bishop e7, I think. And then h4 we can take. No, we can't take. We could take. No, h4 we go g4. G4, yeah. We go g4. And we can even think about getting the bishop on g5, which would kill their sort of play, I think. We're happy with bishop takes. We have a bishop pair, so we're not too fussed about that. We're okay on time because I think we've got a very clear-cut plan. We're hitting this d-pawn and we're limiting their play. I think is the way to go. I'm happy with that plan, you know, especially if we can get this king out the way somehow. I don't know. I think castling might be a bit risky. They decide to take, which is fine by us. They're probably going to take the c-pawn as well. They go for h4. So I think here g4 is the way to go, to be honest. There's nowhere else really their knight can go. Yeah, I don't really want to be opening up the king side too much because our play is all over here. So I think here g4 is fine. I'm not worried about that. We can definitely start hitting this d-pawn now with like a queen b6. And then think about takes and bishop takes, hitting this pawn, maybe. We've got a knight h5 as an idea, which is quite nice. But I think here queen b6 is the way to go. Queen b6, knight a4. Check. Ah, c3 is annoying. So maybe takes first. No. Ooh, okay. Takes first c5 even is a potential idea. As risky as it sounds, it's a potential idea. Yeah, let's take it. Let's take it and go c5. And then queen d7 after check. I think is the way to go. We've got really big pawn center here. We've got a strong bishop. We'll block the check. And to be honest, king in the middle of the board is not horrible with these queens off. It's not horrible. The knight's coming in. What's it doing? Nothing. Knight h5 looks good. I'd happily trade off this knight here. Weaken this pawn significantly. We need to get the rooks in the game. And I think it sort of plays itself. This knight here is severely misplaced. They haven't castled. Castling queenside would put them open to major queenside attacks. Starting with d4, probably. Although with the king being on the same file as the rook, it's not going to immediately be an option. But I think we have the beginnings of a nice position here. We just need to be able to be decisive enough to play it quickly enough, basically. And not mouse slip like we did on Monday's episode, because that was heartbreaking. What is that? Rook c1? Rook c1 does not look right at all. I think knight h4 for starters. Right? Knight h4. Nah, bishop back to h2. What the g2? What's it really doing? Not much. Ah, bishop back to g2. We just take the pawn. Very nice. So that gets rid of the bishop pair. Their bishop. So it's a bishop pair versus knights, which is going to be nice. They decide to go knight there, which is interesting. Knight takes, just bishop back. Pawn push is just good for us, right? Yeah. Pawn push is just good for us. So we want them to play h5 here, so we can have this bishop on g5. I think is the way to go. And realistically, these knights look impressive, but they're not doing anything. Like, they're completely controlled. We've got so much control over the center. With them especially not castling, I think if they were to castle kingside, h5 would be a big mistake. Because it seems like something we'd be able to break through if we ever get like an f5 in. Free up space for this bishop. And just hit it this way. You know, we could do a bishop d6 if this pawn's gone. Like takes en passant. Think about taking this, take this, and march these up the board and attack the king. I don't think that's going to be the play because we don't have the queens on the board, but it's definitely something. They go for it. I don't know what they're trying to get from that because bishop g5 is ridiculously nice, to say the least. We get at least a pawn. At least a pawn. King c6 is a good defensive idea. Opening up for rook d8. And getting off any sort of pins with a c4 push. Straight away. These knights, again, I'll keep saying it. You know, they've got nothing. They have nothing. This is potentially a weakness. Potentially. Because it is weak. But it's very hard to actually, like, take advantage of, I think. We just take this, right? I think relatively, like, giving us the exchange for the bishop is probably a decent play, to be honest. Yeah, like, I think my bishop pair is too strong for you to just let me have. We'll take en passant, thank you. I'm not going to pass up that opportunity. And yeah, what are we doing now? I don't really know. Probably just all the way back, right? Ah. No, we'll go rook f8 then. And just cover this f-pawn. Just cover the f-pawn, that's pretty simple. Yeah, we'll drop bishop e7 as well. We'll drop bishop e7 and just watch this. We can play a6 and kick that out pretty smooth. The bishop can come back to h7 if we need it. Yeah, I think a6 is fine there. I think a6 is fine. And then we can free up this bishop again. And it's no biggie. We did a couple moves to get the same place, you know. I'm not stressing about that. We're not going to b3 because of the discovered is annoying. So we'll just drop all the way back and we'll play it super, super safe. Super, super safe. Rook c8 is coming. And then we need to start pushing our advantage a bit more. Because we are slightly running out of time. King c6, like I said, a nice defensive idea. I'd like to get rid of this pawn. But to be honest, I think this pawn's more of a hindrance to them than anything. The knight moves, we get this bishop maneuver hitting everything, which is nice. So this knight's sort of locked here. d4's coming potentially. We'll do rook c8. So this knight isn't actually hitting anything. We have another defender on that. And we can really, really start pushing this advantage now. Bishop g5 can come back, controlling more of these squares. And just limiting their sort of play, really. Yeah, I think we can start pushing. I don't see why we can't. King b5 after knight a4. Again, limiting their play as much as possible. Yeah, I think bishop g5 is nice. I'd like bishop e4 and stick the bishop on d5 would be also quite nice, I think, now that this knight's no longer here. That's interesting. Let's just move up to c7 then. Limiting play, staying tight, quite okay, I think. That's an interesting one. I think here we might have to trade off. Do we have bishop e3 as an idea? Yes, I think we might. That's a risky one. We have takes. There is annoying. Oh, they go there. Now there. Can we kick this about some more? See how far we can take it. I've not got bishop there. We can just sit the bishop back on f5 though. Realistically, if we have to. Let's do that. Let's do that. It's safe. Stops any knight tricks while we're running relatively low on time at this point. Kick this knight a bit. Start pushing our advantage a bit more. f6 here isn't a bad shout, especially with this bishop here. They go there. Okay, let's drop back. Let's drop back. Now f6 I think is fine. We got to start really speeding up here. Yeah, I can throw in the check. Or the pin with the knight. Yeah, the pin with the knight is better. Throw in the check. Throw in another check even. Or just take. No. In fact, have I messed up there? Maybe. Okay. Let's get the rooks off the board. Let's get the rooks off the board and see if we can win the center. Win with the center. It seems like a theme here. I get a good position and I get low on time. I'm not stressing it though. I don't think they can win. As long as we have time. Keywords there. As long as we have time. They go there. So I'll take the free pawn. Thank you. I think they really should have traded off the rook there. I don't think they can give me that. We have rook g5 as well. That's nice. That. Start pushing this as well. This could be okay. Pre-moves only. Sorry if I'm quiet. Oh no, that's not good. Oh, it's fine. No! Okay, I'll take a draw. I'll take a draw. We definitely could have won that. We probably should have. Low on time, though. I think it was a fun game. I think that's all that matters, really. They had so many chances to, like, actually draw this here. I mean, here, just takes here is fine. You're covering this, and you just come back. Push, you just come back. I can't push it again. Maybe I've got some chances with this, but your knight comes there in time anyway, so I think you're fine. They messed around here. This was fine. Probably should have pushed this mate. Actually, no, I think going for the A pawn is fine. This good fork here. Yeah. There, we need to go. No, actually, going there gives them a check. But then we just start pushing this one. He's got to be winning for us, I think. Let's have a look at the engine. 69.3, that seems harsh. Versus a 66.7. 1500 versus a 1400. Wow, you should see this graph. It looks like I'm looking at a city scape, where it's just skyscraper and nothing and skyscraper, and wow, there's even like a space needle or something in there mixed in. Let's have a look. So the Norwegian rats are always a fun one, always different. They go back here, which is, like I said, what we want from the Norwegian rat is bishop e2. Then we play d6. The idea is that, yes, you gambit the pawn, but you get so much compensation with the queen and the rook. It's just really, really nice position. With bishop there first, we play d5. We no longer have the opportunity to clear the d file. So we mess up a bit. Apparently f6 here is the best move, which is absolutely insane. I don't see how that could ever in a million years be the best move. I guess it sort of makes sense because the queen covers the f pawn. Yeah, and then you can maybe break up, and then you just sort of push again. I don't want to be weakening these light squares too much, which is the problem. Like when f7's still there, it's not a problem. You start pushing g5 again, all of a sudden you're in huge trouble. So I don't even know what happens. Like takes, e-takes, you've got discovered checks, potentially even mates. It's sketchy. It's very, very sketchy. Apparently bishop f4. I don't see why they can't go bishop h4. Not bishop h4. I don't see why they can't go takes. To be honest, I really don't. E takes a bishop there. I don't know why I said discovered. I thought this was the queen. Yeah, maybe it is fine. It's still scary. It's still very scary. And I actually like bishop h6 to stop this h5 push, which is really quite nice. They go back, and we keep pushing. We get the bishop there rather than the knight. Don't make a huge heap of difference. c5, and here we're in a very familiar French sort of territory. g4. h4 is not the move you want to be playing. This bishop's just terrible from the get-go, yeah, and it's sort of staying terrible for the rest of the game. c5 probably not the best move. Trading off the queens, especially when I've got a really nice potential attack going on the king side. But it is winning for us. You know, it's saying minus 2.8 here. We play knight h5 because we thought they were tactics about winning this pawn, but knight e2, it saves the pawn, but your position is just not nice at all. Apparently d4 is the way to go. And this rook c1 move, just it's not nice. I don't know if he thought he was castling or what, but that's just not pleasant. We go bishop. We played bishop g6 just to sort of bait this. I really like this for us. It gives us less light squares. I would really like this bishop, this g6 square, but I think the permanent weakness with this pawn is more than worth it. We get this pawn. Fair dues. En passant, yeah. Rook f7, yeah. Bishop e7. I played because I don't want this knight on d6. That's about it. I guess once the knight is there, though, f6 is a viable idea. Looking for takes and takes, trading the rooks off with a very healthy bishop pair. Which is potentially why it suggests b8, which is also threatening the b pawn as well, I guess. a6 stops that. It's saying inaccuracy, but realistically, it's just sort of helpful, I think. It's just nice. Bishop goes back to h7. Apparently bishop b3 is the move, which is crazy because knight takes is a potential idea. Oh, no, because the bishop covers. I'm not sure what I was scared of then. I'm just stupid. Never mind, folks. Listen to the computer rather than me. Oops. Where are we? There we go. Knight a5 is realistically the only way to sort of get counterplay as white, I think. But these king moves are really quite tidy, I think. The computer doesn't agree with c7, c6. It's not bad, but especially king b5. You know, your king's so advanced with the threat on the knight as well, covering the c pawn, looking for c4 as well. These pawns get very quick, basically. This is a stupid blunder. Why is it a stupid blunder? I'm not sure. I don't know why I said stupid when I don't even know the tactic behind it. I really don't know the tactic behind it. Defender removal. This is going to be so stupid. Oh, that's not stupid at all. That's quite tidy. That's really quite tidy. So you get 2 pawns for that. Wow. That's a nice little tactic. Because where's the king going? Where's the king going? You can't go there, there, there from this knight, and there from this knight. Wow. I very much like that. And even then you have b4 as a potential idea as well. No, you don't, because you hang this knight. There's a reason I'm not a master yet, you know. Rook c7. We messed up here. For sure, for sure. Yeah, they can take this. There's no reason why they can't. A, it's a fork. B, it's a pin. So it's just nasty. Very, very nasty. Still winning for us. Because I potentially just take this and then maybe even go here. So there's stuff to it. And then we blunder a piece somehow. Oh yes, yes. This is silly. Still winning. Because we have check. Oh, this was the blunder. Okay, so this goes to even. Yeah. This goes to even. This is stupid. Why it's stupid? Oh, but yeah. You go... Oh, you pin the pawn to the king. Ah. That's tidy. Yeah, that's very tidy. Oh, it's very hard to defend as well. Very hard to defend. Oops. There we go. Best move. Yeah, how do you because you're threatening bishop takes for starters. You're threatening rook takes for seconds, I guess. You're threatening potentially some bishop there with the discovered. It's nasty, and the bishop pair is just doing absolute work. So we go back down, and I offer them the rook, and they don't take it. You know, we're just down a piece if they take. With scary looking pawns, but realistically they don't do anything for us. The knights are just better. They don't take, and they give us the free pawn. Apparently d3 is the way to play it though, which is insane. Rather than picking up this h pawn. I really want to see these lines now. What's wrong with rook d1? Oh, you go c3. And then take the knight. Okay. What's next after that? What's next best? Rook d2. Rook d2, you get kicked by the bishop. Oh, but you can't actually because the knights are covering both of these. So that's quite tidy. Oh, but then you take c and then you're threatening to take the knight and then you can go c3. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Knight f2. We do some threats, if you want to call them threats. I thought we were winning a piece here. We just didn't. I don't get why this move order matters, to be honest. Rook takes, bishop takes. Oh, then you go c... yeah, I should have played c4 way earlier. Way earlier. We trade off now, and I push the e-pawn to try to support it. I thought this was winning potentially, but maybe not now. Maybe after they let us get in a bit. So this is winning. And apparently, King C3 is the reason. Just you're not looking at any of these. You're looking at the D pawn, which seems impossible to promote. But you go King C3 because takes. Then you go C2. Now, White has a decision. You can move the king away and let me push D2 and then D1. Or you can move the knight. Yeah, or you can move the knight and then I get that anyway, which is insane. And if you don't do anything, I'm threatening H4, H3, H2, H1 at the same time, which is absolutely insane. I missed that. We go for this pawn. They get this. And I thought this was potentially winning. It's interesting. It's an easy one to mess up, I think, as White. But, yeah. I mean, definitely not after A3, I don't think. B2, they get checks, and it gets messy. It gets very messy. Like King B1. You can just sit the knight on B4 even, and go after this. Because you can do, if you watched my knight and bishop endgame video, you know this little washing machine technique can hold the pawn in the corner, so the king can literally just go and get this pawn, which is fair enough. So yeah, maybe this is drawn. Maybe this is drawn. But I think it was a very interesting game, and I really enjoyed playing it. Actually, it's an interesting way to decline the rat is bishop c5, c4. Sorry. Interesting way to decline the rat, and then to go back to e2 as well, and being able to relate that to like this the French and the advanced Scandinavian as well. I think really, really interesting. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like if you liked. Please subscribe if you really liked, and I'll catch you guys all tomorrow. Bye bye.